Right, hello, welcome to my pets again. Today we're doing Karelia, obviously. Karelia is pretty a similar map from both spawns. They both kind of have the same positions on both sides, really, just a bit different. Like you have these two rocks that are the same. You have these two positions here. These are both the same. Mid is basically the same. Base is also quite the same, really. This camp, this map is kind of known for camps from both sides. The south camp um, was kind of reinvented by Goodnight Nomi in Clan Rivals or Clan Showdown. Like I don't know, like early this year, I think. And the north camp on Karelia is famous. So yeah, I'll show you how to break both of them from my experience, and I'll just go over some strats, some key positions to let you know on some of the positions you should be taking on this map. Yeah, let's get into some positions. Right, first key position from north is this little rock here, and this position as well. I'll just go over these two together. Um, so firstly, behind this rock, you are basically using it as kind of like a repellent from the EBR for getting some bushes. Um, as well as you can shoot up the hill occasionally if something gets spotted there. But the main idea of it is to get into this little, I don't know, cubby ramp area, and with this from north, you go up here, and you spot this rotation. You spot this rotation. You also spot if there's anything here. So it's just a very nice location. If the enemy team is playing full north, you just put a tank here and you spot their rotations, so they can never leave north, hopefully, without you seeing them. So you can use that information. This is the same from south as well, but right, next is this little rock and bush here in C4. You're basically using this to spot this cross. Nothing really more to it, and then obviously run away. I mean, you can stay here with like a heavy tank if you are wanting to put a heavy tank here, like a fast heavy tank, and you can kind of just be kind of hard to kill. But they can send two guys to here and kill him if they want. Next is C1. Again, this is just kind of used as a spotting thing. You're basically spotting this repush from here. If they have a guy here, though, and they have some guys at the back, you kind of need turret armor here to play here, or they will just pen you. But, you can have an EBR run here or whatever. But, yeah, you're just using this to spot this. Also, it can be used, obviously, if they are camping, you put like a sniping tank here, and it can snipe, on this and here, right? Another key position from north is D0, C0. Again, it's just used for spotting, basically. You're basically just spotting this approach. It's just kind of the safest position to do it. And, like, if you have this two crossfire, it's very nice. And the enemy team will bleed for it a lot if they decide to go kill either one. So, yeah, nice. This is another location in the south of the map, I guess. It is E8. You're normally using this um, if you think the enemy team is pushing this, because you go here, you can shoot them going like up, you shoot them again, you shoot them again. So you do deal a lot of damage on the recross up. It it is used a lot in camps as well, but in like 279. But yeah, normally if you're playing like a normal person, you're putting like, I mean, it might be a tank from like this corner back to here, or if you have some tanks mid, they might come back to here. And yeah, you're just using it to shoot everything here. Right, next is used by a CS. It can be used by ABR, but you normally just sit on a CS on this corner in G9, and you're just using it to basically spot this bush. Obviously, if you don't see anything, you go take the hill. But yeah, it's just kind of used to spot this, basically. Right, next is another location in the south in J0 or J9. Again, kind of just using an I7, no, something with turret armor at least. And you're normally playing like here, and you're basically spotting this repush. You spot it like here if they decide to do this, or you spot it if they do it intelligently and go like this. You'll see it, here, which obviously lets you run away in time to get back and reinforce with your team or run away fully. But yeah, just use to spot this repush. Right, final position from north is these bushes here. Obviously, you want to get an EBR into these because it just spots this rotation for you. Obviously, you can do it kind of similar from here, but an EBR, if you can get an EBR to do the job of a heavy tank, why not? You're normally using this rock to spot it in these bushes. You're normally doing this if you have hill control, so you can then shoot the light tank that's somewhere in mid. If you're doing a full north play, I mean, you can still do it. It's just more risky because the enemy might see your light tank going like this. So yeah, only do this if you have hill control, I would say. Right, now for south, we'll just start with the same position. D4. Again, you're using this to kind of hide in the cubby to stop the EBR from getting these bushes, because from these bushes you spot this rotation. And yeah, if they play full north, you're bringing the I7 or whatever is in here to the ramp. So again, you can spot this cross, you can spot this cross, you can spot if there's anything up here. It's a very good location. Yeah. Right, here's another location. Similar from north, but just K6. Again, you're just using this to basically spot this approach. In the beginning, you're normally using a CS. You can obviously use an EBR, but I prefer using EBRs for mid and north spots. Obviously, because it just feels like a bit of a waste. If a CS can do a job of an EBR, I'll take a CS. And obviously, you can get this here still to obviously snipe everything, right? So, yeah. Right, next is D2. Again, this is just used to spot this rotation. You're normally, again, just using this at the start of the game. It can be a heavy tank, like a 260. It can be a 9.0. It can be a CS. But yeah, you're probably using this in like a sniping tank if you're playing full hill. If you're playing full top, then you'd probably just put something with highish alpha, like a 277, 260, something like this, just to punish the cross as they go up, and then you obviously go join the fight. Another one from south is kind of these bushes. These bushes are basically, if you can get them, you're using them to basically spot this rotation. I mean, it kind of goes for these bushes as well to kind of spot this rotation, but normally, if you're getting into this, you will have hill. Getting into this is a bit harder unless they've gone full north. So normally you should be trying to get into these ones. Yeah. Right, next is similar again to north. It is J0. Again, you're just putting an I7 here to spot this reapproach. Again, you'll probably see it here if they're coming from base, but normally you'll see it like here, and then obviously you run back to here for the people on hill to farm for you if they decide to push you, or you farm them going up the hill. Right, the final position from south is A3. Similar to the north, you're just sitting here in a tank to spot this reapproach. Obviously, people can do this approach and you won't see it, but normally you'll see this cross with something else, or at least like here. But yeah, you're just using this to spot it like around A7. You can also obviously use this against the camp. You're normally putting like a sniping tank here to shoot down all of this if they decide to repush. Yeah, cool. Right, we will start off with some north strats. Firstly, we'll just go full north. Personally, I don't like going hill. I think hill is forces me to kind of do things that I don't really like to do. I just prefer north. It just allows me, I think, some better positions to play with. But hill is still viable. I'm just not going to show a hill strat. Hill strats are pretty simple. Just bring 4 CS or 3 CS, I7s, 260s, whatever, right? So yeah, we'll just go full north here. It's kind of up to you. I would use I7s if you have them, but there is kind of nothing wrong with taking 260s. This was kind of the meta for a while on Karelia. But I think it's kind of the meta on Karelia is now shifting to splits, especially at the quote unquote top level. Very cringe, but less and less people are going full north now. They're doing some kind of split. But yeah, the idea is if they're coming full north, you fight them. If for some reason you get scared, or if you're deciding to do more of a like you're doing a north play like that with only like 6 tanks or something, there is a point of no return. If you go past this, you will not be able to go back. Because if the enemy team is also coming north, they will get here and they will shoot you going back, and you'll bleed 4k for this. So you need to make your decision like here if you're going to continue to go north or not. That's why obviously you need to take an EBR to spot them coming. You also obviously he needs to go a bit aggro. He should do like this kind of a run, really, or you can just do like some kind of run like this. But you need to spot them like here so you can make your decision in time. Anyway, obviously you're going for the north. You fight. If you're fighting on the north, you are more than likely wanting to fight on this corner. You should probably leave the top side with only like 3 I7s or something like this. Myself, I've kind of put too much lower high side and then lost because they just fight on the corner and then they stop you from kind of overpeaking. So you kind of want to do this kind of a split, really. You know, was that like 8 and 3 kind of thing? But yeah, if obviously they are not coming full north with the CBR info, you should immediately turn around. You should do like keep 2 tanks in the north, I would say. It can be 2 I7s, maybe just 1 I7, 1 9 or whatever. It doesn't really matter what you leave here, but everything else obviously go back to your base. After that, you can kind of decide what you want to do. Also, no, if you think they're not coming full north, I would leave an I7 here. Or if you can't tell if they're coming full north, I would leave an I7 here. If you think they are coming full north, obviously you don't need to put this guy here and you just bring him in. But this I7, obviously, like I said in the key position, it kind of just stops EPRs getting through your mid. If they've somehow cleared the CBR and now they send another one through, you kind of just retain some mid control. But yeah, After you've rotated back to base to stop them coming back into yours, you have choices of what you want to do. Kind of depends. Normally, I just send full fucking. I just send my whole team this. Um, Normally, the enemy team had rotated something back. Normally, 2 or 3 tanks. Um, and obviously, you should be overmatching this now, kind of with your tanks. For repushing this, you should probably have your stirve here, and then you bring basically everything in, and you go push the top side. If you have your 2 9s here, I would leave them like this. If you don't, obviously I would probably just bring 2 to kill the guy that's lower, and this serve is obviously just covering this. The CS is also covering it. He can join this or he can join this, up to you. You can also, if they don't have, let's say they don't have an EBR for whatever reason, or they only have like 1 or 2, or well, 1, and you've killed him, you can obviously try and take this location if they don't have anything here. But you can also repush hill like this, but you kind of need to do it unspotted to do it, or they will just stack it and then they'll shoot you from base as well as you go up. So you kind of need to do this unspotted. If you can do it unspotted, I'd recommend doing it this way because you just get the top ground off of this. And I would probably still send something low so you can put some people in crossfire, but they would need to be like probably I7s for this. So I don't know, you'd put like this stuff here. If this I7, if you can get this I7 out, I would leave with him. But if you can't, obviously he stays, and then you just go push up. Obviously, you probably should check with your EBR first that your EBR can try and sneak into these bushes on top of the hill to see how much is here. Obviously, because you don't want to YOLO into our whole team set up for you. Yeah, I mean, like if you really want to push this, you can just leave 1 I7 in the north as well. It's kind of up to you. But yeah, that's kind of it for full north. I can't really think of anything else. Right, here is another north side strat. This is more kind of a split. I've kind of started using the strat like a bit more of a split. And there. Basically, the idea is you're coming here with your 60s. Really, you should be sorry, should be sitting like back here with them, and you're basically using the CS to then get some punish on the tanks that are coming up, and then you run away to basically here. If they're coming full this way, you run away with these tanks to here. These double I7s come to here. Oops, I don't know why that 260 is miles away. But yeah, all the 260s come to here. The double I7 comes across to here. These 9ers can also come back to base if they want. If you think they are literally just gonna full send this, or they can even come to here as well to also get more punish. Up to you, really. Depends on if you think this is enough to kind of shoot them going up. Because obviously, if you do not kill them, you'll have to repush into it, and that could be painful for you. Obviously, the serve just stays here, and he shoots anything that's on the hill or coming on the outside. These tanks are just also meant to just get this punish off. You can make these 9s 260s if you want, but I just kind of like the DPM that 9s bring. So I bring 9s, but 260s is completely fine as well. And yeah, you just punish here. You might get a shot here, but you have kind of to pull really far forward. So you will get like 1 or 2 shots with the 9s if they're going full north. If they are going full north, obviously you punish this, and then these double I7s that you're staying in base push across to this rock here. To shoot the guy that's, if they've sent a guy here, just to kill him. This I7 at the same time comes to here. Obviously, after these 9-0s get their shots, they run away. So you have something like this, and your 2/60s have taken the hill in the meantime as well, with one staying out wide. At the same time, this EBR also clears this, so then all these 2/60s on hill can clear the EBR that's here. So now you basically have control of the whole map, kind of. Obviously, they have north, but you spot their rotation back 2 ways. You spot the I7 can spot them rotating, and the CBR, if you've managed to get him into here alive, he also spots this rotation here. The EBR should be on this rock basically because it's kind of the safest place to be in mid. If they continue to obviously to keep on pushing your base, you just go push their base with 5 2/60s, and these double I7s, it depends on where they are. They can go back, or they can keep on coming into your base, or just try and block them from coming back. The CS can just stay on hill and just cover the base, and it's just cap rush, right? But you should be winning because you have 2/60s versus like normally I7s. But yeah, that's kind of the main ideas of the two strats, of the very basic reactions of full north, full south, or hill. If they do a split themselves, you might just want to take north with the double I7 that you still have in base. If they've gone full hill, obviously, and they don't push off of it, you just take the north control. You have your 2/60s here. If they have anything in the mid, you can't do this play. So you might even just bring a tank close to their base just to see how much is there, and then you repush this or repush hill, because I just prefer repushing hill because they see it later. If they sit a guy in here, they spot a north push quite early and can rotate in time if they're like sitting like somewhere here to go back either side. Obviously, if they're full stacking this, you get a free base. You can also, if they're going full hill, you can maybe even sneak a guy under to like here to basically spot this rotation, but it is risky because they can drop down on you. But that is up to you if you think it's worth it. I think it's this rock actually, this one, because it has a nice little rock ledge to kind of play with. But yeah, that's kind of the idea of this strat. I hope I have kind of explained it enough for you, but I think I've explained the very basic reactions for it. On to camp breaks. Right, let's just say the enemy team is camping. The common camp, or the one that kind of got promoted, was from Goodnight Nomi, and it is quite the bastard to push. Let's just put the Manticore there. How many tanks have I got still left to place? Oh yeah, we'll do this. Is that enough? 7, 8. So one more. Let's just put another 6 GP in their base. Right. So for the camp, obviously you see off lineup if they are camping, and the idea is basically, or ideas is you take hill off the beginning. If you think their EBR is in mid somewhere, you send one EBR to try and clear him. Like if he's here, you just send one EBR to clear him. If he's like here or further back here, you will obviously not clear him. Do not waste time blind firing for him. I think it's just a waste. Unless you have a very good suspicion of where he is, don't spend more than 30 seconds to a minute of blind firing, because you will need that time to rotate to the north and dig out that camp. You should be pushing at like 6 minutes minimum to kind of break this camp in time. But yeah, the idea is after you've done, hopefully clear the EBR from mid, all your 2/60s apart from one obviously rotate to the north with the 3 9-0s. Obviously, if you think if you've camped faced a camp once, and you think they're going to camp again, I would not bring 9-0s. I would bring 260s or i7s just for more health. You don't really need DPM. You'll have TDs to do that. But yeah, your serve obviously also comes to the hill for fun. You then basically YOLO down 1-2. Nothing really special with it. This i7, if you can move him out of mid, I would move him out of mid because he's basically pointless. If you can't, you'll have to come in later basically to do something. But yeah, the idea is to basically push down. The way you push down is you send your kind of 2 tanks. You can leave like 3 at the back. I would just leave 2 on this rock. I think it's fine. But the idea is you get i7s above the people in the dip. You do not go into the dip. You just stay above them. And then you wrap around them basically to make them, well, there's basically no place to hide, really. So you're kind of just wrapping around here. It gives literally, there is nowhere safe in the dip where they can now hide. The i7s can kind of like not overmatch the roof of a mouse, but at a decent angle they can pen the roof of a mouse. But yeah, the idea is if they want to repush you, they go into double i7 and then they're in terrible positions. The Sturb farms them, the CS farms them. Like obviously they farm here, they farm here. If they for some reason push on this group, they have the best farm in their lives. Yeah. If you think they are camping with tanks here, it is worth to send 190 here or a 260 to basically, if it has heat ammo, obviously you just pen the mouse in the turret. Eventually, it will be costly, obviously, for the player, but you just get a free farm on these mouses to make them so they can't move back or forth. They just get farmed by this 90. You just come in like this for this. But yeah, the idea is you kind of just give them nothing to repush into, because if you all go into the dip, they will just repush you with 60 DPs and you will die a painful death. Obviously, here you shoot the 279, you kill him. If this 279 comes on the outside, obviously the double 90 can kill him. But yeah, you kill these double mouse. Let's just say you've killed them. Yippee. God, this mess is bad. And afterwards, you're gonna just start to play here with like 2 maybe. This guy should kind of die from the hill, really. It's not really a safe location for him. And after that, you're basically, let's say you've killed this 279 as well. These 90s are going to come in from somewhere. And then after that, it's either you're pushing. Oh, don't know how I've done it. Whatever. You're either pushing like this or you're pushing like this to get under their guns. You might want to leave 190 at the back, maybe, just to support so they can't YOLO you again. Or if they do YOLO you, you will have some crossfire. Yeah. After you've kind of killed these 2 mouses, they have no map control. You basically spot all of this now, so they are not safe from hill, from here, and they will just slowly be farmed to death. And these tanks have no role in the game. Some teams don't even put anything here, so you know you have to be ready for like even more tanks up here. But yeah, as well, this 260 can come up to here, and he also can get shots on the people that have kind of banked off here. And you just crossfire the fuck out of the red base. I don't think I've ever lost to a camp this way, really, when my players have listened to me and not gone to the dip. Like here, you need to be kind of careful if they've gone like, if for some reason you don't have a tank here, these double mouses or whatever could come to here and start farming this outside. That's why having a guy here is quite helpful. But yeah, that's kind of the camp break, or the south camp break. Obviously, enemy teams might do something different. If they have a guy here, you basically don't care. You just do this push anyway, and you go to the outside here and you just kill him. Yeah, not really much you can do. You just go here. He's the only thing that can shoot you now, and you kill him. If there's a guy here on this little like ledge here, you can kind of just go to here in. I mean, in like a CS or an I7, you can kind of just peek on him if he is in the lower ground or like below. I mean, even if he's on the ledge, you can try and get a 9-0 or something to this rock, and he can also farm this for you. Obviously, you need to be kind of careful you don't get like tracked or something going there, but if you get here, you're quite safe, and you just farm this with like 2 angles. You just shoot it from both sides, and he's not safe anywhere. If he's going to this, like on the right bit, the hill will kill him. If he goes anywhere to the left, the people out here will kill him. You can also blind fire him from up here, but I just prefer getting a tank here to kill him. I think that's kind of it now. I think that's everything. So yeah, let's go and move on to north. Right, here is a replay from south. This is kind of a camp break replay. Key thing is here, if they have an I7 in this kind of camp, you think they're camping, you should send a lot of your team here just to get a free shot of damage on this I7. Technically, I think the best bush for this is like here, because it spots the I7 here. Here you kind of spot him here, which is a bit later. But yeah, you kind of just try and get your free shot of damage on this guy. You can kill him sometimes if you're quite lucky. Obviously, you shouldn't be sitting here. You should be sitting more here to get a better shot. After that, obviously you send the tanks you need to hill or whatever. Obviously, I know they're camping with this lineup. A Manticore kind of shows that as well as a mouse. Then yeah, the idea is similar to south, is just take full north control and get ready to push down 1-2. Yeah. We can have all positions. Honestly, I'd rather this be a 260. So he can then go to here, but it's fine. Doesn't really matter that much. But as you can see, I mean, you can still kind of push up in your EBR, even though they have this I7 in mid. So you can kind of start to get some spots here, but obviously it's very risky because the Manticore could be somewhere randomly and you get spotted for it. But yeah, here we go. Obviously, pushing down. Now, ideally, you have both your 9 or both 2 tanks here to kind of stop this 279 from doing anything, and you can kill him. But you don't get that. It's just me versus 279. I will lose that fight because he can angle up here with this like annoying rock here, which is quite annoying. These 2 tanks should be here instead. But technically it's not needed because there's nothing really in the hole other than this mouse. But like here you can actually have hold downs, so you can play against it instead of, I guess, side scraping or just peeking out with your front here against the tanks. Yeah, there we go. We see that found the Manticore. And as you can see, like everything here has shots into the dip. If you get guys here, they can then shoot this dip. If you have a guy here, they can't run away anywhere. And he can peek on here and maybe shoot them, right? So we have perfect crossfire. Yeah, and the rock that you should be using to basically shoot the mouses is either you're in the water, you can be in the water, or you can just kind of play here and play like here and shoot them. But there's nothing in there, so Chris just kind of shoots from the top of the ridge, but now comes in. But honestly, you'd be probably fine just sniping from that ridge. And I don't know, EBR tries to kill our EBR for some reason. Obviously that's not going to work. And as I said in the replay, or in the strat sketch, like you can kill this I7 from here, no problem. Yeah, pretty easily. We have kind of surrounded them. Health is equaled out. Say that, we have double TD and double 9-0. So they certainly started off with a health advantage, especially with the 60p and mouse, the 60p's. As you can see, it'd be really nice to kill this guy, because when you kill this guy, he stops kind of like stopping you from progressing through this. But yeah, as you can see, like, we kind of have all crossfires now. Like, there is nowhere in base that is now safe from all of our angles. Like, the Sturv on hill will farm these people. Well, the Hori, sorry, the Sturv here can kind of farm this as well if they back off to, like, you know, behind this rock. And they can shoot the C5 as well. Or he can also shoot this. Sturv can also, when this 279 dies, he can come to like D2 and also shoot this on the outside. The Hori will probably get shots. The I7 in the south will then get shots as well. That's why you kind of want him to be like a 260 or something with kind of heat ammo, and like a decent gun with DPM. But yeah, now they just have no place to safe, and we can just push up. And yeah. There you go. See, that guy is just not safe anywhere. And as you can see, they're just slowly bleeding health. And now we're 6k up. To say, like a minute ago, we were even. And yeah, as you can see, that 60p is just like, there's just nowhere safe to be anymore. So yeah, pretty good camp break, I would say. But yeah, these south camps, now that people know how to break them. Oh, I know how to break them. They don't really work anymore. I don't think I've ever lost while doing this kind of break. So yeah, I would definitely recommend doing this. And as you can see, it's just clean up now and game over. Yeah, it's a pretty easy game. As I said, like, if you see an I7 on like this kind of camp, you go here and you shoot the cross. If there's a 279 here or something here, you send 2 guys here to make sure he dies. And yeah, it's a pretty easy game, I would say, on breaking this camp. Right, here is a north replay. This is Dan FCing. This is basically just a full hill strat. With obviously a Sturv and a Rhino out wide to shoot them if they play on the outside of hill. They're yellow and EBR through mid, and this EBR just lets me shoot him twice because he's trying to kill Kushti, I guess. But yeah, I just get 2 free shots into him, and they don't even kill Kushti. They, for some reason, they push north and then also send tanks here. Which I guess they just wanted to kill whatever is here to get their EBR, but we have our Nino here that stops them from doing that, I guess. But for some reason they don't keep on pushing through. Like, if you're going to push this and don't see anyone, you probably should just keep on pushing into this dip, and then this tank or the tanks that are topside keep on coming through, and maybe you leave one at the back and then the rest rotate back to base. Because like this, we kind of get everything, and they kind of trap themselves with a double 9-0 that we kind of just slowly work on from angles. Like, as you can see, I'm getting some angles. H will probably have some angles. Devi will have some angles. Hill will have some angles on here. Like, if you're going to sit anywhere, you probably just want to sit here. I don't really know why they're here. Like, here you're safe from hill at least, and base really. And then you can kind of keep on going through with your heavy tanks, and now you actually have some pressure. Because like right now, I mean, like, it's like cool. Like, you've sent tanks back. Well, I mean, we need to be kind of careful here because they could full repush this, but you know, luckily we go back. Well, not luckily, but you know, we go back to set up some crossfire angles so we don't get caught as well. And yeah, we just catch these two because I mean, they're just not safe. They will be eventually killed from angles. And there we go. And yeah, they've obviously full pushed back their base because, you know, obviously when you don't see them continue pushing through A line, like, they're probably going back to their base, especially because we're putting pressure on it. They catch obviously down at the front, but the rest of the I7s kind of get away, at least a little bit. We catch the EBR in mid, and yeah, even though they catch our tanks in the north, you know, we trade quite well for it, I would say. I think we lost 4 for 3, I think, and we probably bled them quite a lot. Obviously now we are just mopping up the north because they have nothing to help. Obviously, CBR's still here, but yeah, that won't save the 277. And yeah, now it's kind of cleaned up. Obviously it's 9-1. Health is even on my screen, but we should be up quite a bit. There we go, we're up 4k as I get into render with all the tanks, and yeah, now we just kind of own their base and everything. So I mean, it's more kind of what to learn from the enemy team here more than anything. Like, they just made some weird opening strats of sending the double 9-0 through the river, but not kind of doing anything with it and not staying in the correct location to be safe. But yeah, not really much to this game. It was just kind of quite bad from the enemy from the beginning. We just kind of got, I mean, we kind of just got 3 tanks kind of for free, really, off the opening, and dealt damage on both their EBRs. And it was quite obvious on what the enemy team was going to do. And they just rotated to base, and yeah, that was kind of the end of them, because we just kind of took everything. Obviously, going full north, you do run into these problems where the enemy team will just clear your EBR, and you're forced to do this kind of repush. But I mean, they should have really been faster getting back into their base, so they're not trapped or spotted in G1 or J1. At least then, like, you can't push up, but even then, like, you can maybe go under. So, you know, obviously every strat has its problems. But yeah, the enemy team, I just don't think played this strat very well, and let us kind of take everything, really. So yeah, their problem. Anyway, that does it for replay 1. I'll show you a camp break. Right, on to South strats. We'll start off just a full north again, just because it's like going full north. Obviously, again, you can just go hill if you want to the very basic strat, but you can just go, you know, full CS, 3 CS going across to here, whatever's following it. You make a crossfire, blah 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 blah. 2 tanks lower, maybe a tank here, job done. But yeah, full north. Obviously, again, you have to make a decision like here if you're going to run away or not. Because you're bringing your full team, you're going north, and you're going to fight. Again, if you're doing some kind of split of, like, I don't know, let's just say like 6, yeah, you need to make your decision here if you want to fight or not. Because if you don't, they will come to here and they will farm you leaving. So yeah, just be careful of that. Yeah, if they don't come full north, you just send two up. And they stay there. And then you rotate everything back to base. And you're ready to either repush hill or, you know, see what the enemy team do. Normally, if you are taking full north, they will try and send an EBR through to clear the CBR, just to try and get their EBR established. So, good luck. You need to make sure you hit and kill him. If you don't, you're basically forced into this repush, because you don't really have any other options now. You are trapped because they see your rotation. So, yeah, if you want to repush this, you can send your double tank that was in the north down just to kind of be a distraction. What you can even do is, like, send these tanks into this dip and then have your sturv, like, come up to here. I mean, your sturv should probably just your sturv should probably just stay here ish, so he can farm the hill. But if they're in their base, obviously the sturv can come up to here and he can farm the repush into this dip. because there's a little like a bit of upground here. It's very annoying to kill, and things up here will shoot into it, and probably you can trade somewhat well for that. Yeah, if they do nothing and they just let your EBR sit and you have your I7 here, um, yeah, it kind of depends. If you think you can get like an I7 under the hill, start proxying people on the hill to make it uncomfortable, they back away, and then you can clear whatever is in the mid. Normally, if it's just an EBR, you then can go on the outside, I guess, of the hill push, and push it that way. But more than likely, you're going to be pushing like this into the hill. You send like one tank lower, one tank at the back, or staying here. Either one. I'd probably just put him here because he can cover the outside a bit better. And everything else is pushing up. The benefit of this is you have kind of like the Sturv out wide, and he can kind of farm if anything goes on the outside or here. But yeah, the idea is you just push up, try and push these people away so you can get around and make a crossfire. Yeah, that's kind of it for that strat. Again, if you're fighting north, you go mostly to the corner with like one or two or three top. And yeah, that's kind of it. If for some reason you want to push into their base, you can do that. You can just push most of your team into their base and send like back like two or something. If you are going to do that, I would probably go into this hole or just go through. If you then see that they're rotating back, then I would go into this hole and have a guy here. And obviously this push is horrible for the enemy. But yeah, that is everything. Right, next is a split. It's very similar to my north one because this map is quite symmetrical. But yeah, kind of the same thing. Again, if they're coming full south, you punch them a little bit, you run away. You normally probably run like this along the hill or back up to here. And you probably take the north control as well, and then you decide on what you want to do. Yeah, your two options are obviously pushing their base or pushing their base with a few, well, like 6, maybe 5 to here. You have 2 at the back or something, and if they repush you, you try and get back into this, and then you trade that way. Or you take this with 2 again, and then you full push the hill again. If they're coming full north, you punish with this group, bang, 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 bang. They run away, probably into this dip, probably the safest way. Or they can swing like this, but meh. Obviously the I7, if they are going full north, comes into here, so you can spot this rotation, this, and this. If they are coming full north, you can send your double I7 that you've kept in base to here. Not like here. They're basically again used to kind of just kill this. Basically, because nothing can kill them. Even if they have things in base, you can use the rocks to kind of not shoot them, but they should be full north anyway, to where it should be fine. Obviously, you just take the hill with 260s, maybe some. Depends if you want to clear the EBR, if there is an EBR in mid. Obviously, you put one guy here to spot this repush, and then yeah, you decide on what you want to do. Obviously, if they keep on going, then obviously the 9Ls are kind of like somewhere hopefully back in base. You can then send your 260s back to base, and you can hold. Or, alternatively, you can go push their base if you want. But yeah, that's kind of it. Again, for this kind of split, again, this I7 is kind of just obviously to be annoying. They can't kind of be on the hill. They have to have something in base to kind of stop him from doing this. This I7 can even go here to proxy. But yeah, that's kind of it for this strat again. Hopefully that's enough for you. But I feel like I talked quite quickly. If they are doing a split themselves, I would probably just see if they're going to take hill first. If they take hill, I would repush it. If they take, if they start to take north, again, I would just take hill, and then you kind of just decide on what you want to do. Basically, anytime you can take hill, you're doing this play. If you can't do this, if they're taking hill, then yeah, you just go take the north off them. Now I will show you kind of a camp break for the north base. Right, here is a north camp. This is one of the most difficult camps, I would say, in the video game to break, especially for EU, because our map pool in advances is not that big. We don't have some other things like, what's it called? Arctic region? I don't know what the fuck it's called. Some kind of, I don't know, but it's winter map and it's fucking awful by the looks of it. From looking at it on RU and NA. I think NA have it, but not 100%. Anyway, it's kind of similar to the South Break. Again, one tank here, something on the hill, maybe a 260. Obviously, like I am doing this with my split strat. If you think they're camping, I would not bring 9-0s. I would bring 2 TDs. I would bring double Hori, or Sturv, and then like 1 CS. Because, yeah. Anyway, again, you're just taking the hill to get that control. Probably leave your Sturv there. And yeah, the idea is pretty simple. Let's just leave this now here for now, I guess. And yeah, the idea again, if they don't have a light tank, you can push through mid to do this, to break this camp. I just don't like it really. I just prefer pushing north because you can kill this guy a bit quicker. But nothing really wrong with this. But yeah, if they have a light tank, I wouldn't do this because I think you get spotted here and they can just pre-aim you. And if they have E3s, good luck good luck bouncing because they have a large pen. Anyway, so yeah, you're just pushing through. Let's say, let's just say you're doing this. You're pushing through. You are normally leaving something on this rock to make sure the mouse dies. And yeah, you bring the rest of your team through. The CBR can do whatever. Kind of just go there, that's fine. When you push through, probably here you can split off people to go like this, to go through. But you can also just go to here with your whole team and then rotate through the gap or through the gorge, valley, whatever, and then come out. Because the idea is basically, let's just bring like 5 for now. This position can kind of kill this mouse, so obviously you can do that. But yeah, you kill this mouse or whatever's here. You kill the guy that's here. You then can start swinging under to kill this guy. So you've kind of picked up 3 guns. Hopefully you haven't died with anything. You shouldn't really have died with anything unless they've done very good focus fire as you've come down. After that, let's say, okay, you've killed these 3 people. This 9-0 can then push up to kind of here, this rock little here, just for another angle on the top. Obviously, probably want to bring in 1 more 9-0, just leave 1 9-0 here. He can sit up here. It's good position because he has better shots on like this and this. But yeah, after that, you probably bring these tanks to here and you push up through here. These guys come through like here. So you're kind of surrounding the top side here. So you have like this. And obviously from here you can kill the E3 that's here. After that, it kind of depends. It's still very painful, but you have something like this. Obviously your EBRs are doing whatever the fuck they want to do. Normally they're just staying alive to see if they can get some, chip shots or whatever the fuck. But yeah, after you've kind of surrounded them on top, you have to then just start kind of using angles. Normally they have like 2 tanks here, something like this. And yeah, you kind of need to just kill an angle, really. And it'll be very painful. You can kind of climb this to get some shots onto this, but obviously you will be shot for peeking this. But yeah, there's not really any else I can say. It is just kind of a fight to see if you can kill it. It's a lot harder than South to break because Hill doesn't have as good shots. And you don't have kind of like positions out here like this to shoot this. This you don't really have anything to shoot into because their ridge line is just so high. But yeah, you kind of just need to kind of overwhelm them so they can't focus out people, and hopefully you focus out a group, really. Yeah, that's kind of really it. Hopefully you can pick up as many guns on the lower side as you can that hopefully are kind of free. And then you just need to somehow break this. That's kind of just whatever you see. If you see that this side is killable, kill that side. If you can see you can kill this side, kill that side. Yeah. If the enemy team is doing this correctly with E3s and 60 DPs, it's very, 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 very hard to break, even with like perfect play and the perfect lineup. If you know they're camping, bring double Ho-Ri. You can bring Jaegeru, but I think the Ho-Ri with better mobility is just kind of better. And heat ammo can just hit the tracks or whatever, not do anything. So AP from a Ho-Ri is pretty good. I would not bring any 9.0s. I would probably bring. I mean, if you know they're gonna camp, I would bring like 5 60TPs, maybe even like 8. Just so you have a better tank on hold down and more health and more alpha. But if you're playing an advance and it's like you don't really know, I would just bring i7s so you have the most health as possible and you have an okay gun. And yeah, you just kind of have to play off the TDs and like kind of these 3 angles to try and get as much damage as you can. Because if they overpeak on these groups, hopefully you have like double Ho-Ri shooting for you. I would not bring one. I would bring 1 ABR as well. I'd probably replace this 9.0 with a CS. So I have 1 ABR, 1 CS. Let's say 8 60 DPs, double Ho-Ri. What is that? I think that's 12. So like 3 i7s, something like that. That would be probably my ideal lineup. Yeah. But yeah, good luck if you need to break a North camp. Onto some replays. Second replay from South. This is against a camp. Against Mappy. Mappy, I don't know. But I think they were called a Readlol. They won the gold season campaign, whatever the fuck. This is a bit of a different kind of camp. They have 1 EBR, 1 Manticore, which is a bit weird, but I think they just wanted to try and kill our EBR in the mid so they can have an EBR that can live for a long time in the mid, and if we want to clear him, it's very painful. But we kind of just kill him. But yeah. Because I know they're camping, because of their lineup, I don't send anything south. Well, I send the tanks that I need to send south. Could make an argument where I don't need the i7 to support the repush. I just need a Ho-Ri and a CS. Yeah. There's also another thing on a camp. You can go like here in the beginning, like G4, G5, and you can shoot the guy that tries to cross this rock. But you need to be very quick, and if you have 60 DPs, you won't be able to do that. But with i7, 260s, you can maybe do that. But yeah, unfortunately, Neric's dies because their Manticore is in base somewhere. But yeah, very simply, I'm just grouping up to push. I knew they were going to camp because they camped against us in the previous game, and for some reason these people just like to camp, so whatever. But yeah, that's why I kind of have the perfect lineup here, other than double EBR. Vidar joined late, so he just readied up in an EBR. But ideally, I would only have one for another 60p or something. Yeah, just getting ready to push this with my whole team, basically. And yeah, obviously this Hori goes to the rock that I just pinged, and he has some decent shots. We're not even spotted yet. Normally you would be spotted from this little ridge here. I should be spotted now, but somehow we're not. Now we are. But yeah, as you can see, because they have nothing here, I can just kind of swing off by myself. I don't really need to bring other people, but obviously if there's a guy here and a guy here, I would bring more. But yeah. As you can see, like, we are kind of health up, which is surprising for a camp. But yeah, now we just need to kind of slowly work on positions to kind of try and dig them out. Obviously, if the enemy team bring S-Kongs, it's a lot more doable than E3s. Just because E3s are literally unpennable. S-Kongs are kind of pennable, especially for the Horis. But yeah, next step is to kind of swing to like here now, because obviously from here you can kind of shoot this and this area. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend going up this way because this may happen. I would probably just go up from here. It's a lot easier. Yeah, we're slowly trying to kill this, and you have to kind of focus this out, basically. This little area is kind of the most important to clean out, because after you stop this crossfire, you're in a lot better positions. If the enemy team just decided to stay and do nothing, we would slowly dig them out, but they choose to repush this, just to kind of, I think, just kind of capture some kills to kind of stop us from having so many guns. And they trade quite well for it. Obviously we kind of kill 1 for 1 at the moment, and we put down 1 for a 1-shot, but we have a lot of 1-shots now. At the same time, they also repushed this. That's why you kind of keep something here to help this. Also the Hori in the back can also help us. And I died. Unlucky. And yeah, as you can see, we're doing a decent with our Horis, a decent amount of damage. You can kind of see them kind of hitting for quite a lot. And yeah, we are slowly kind of digging them out. Obviously, it's still quite close. We have a lot of 1-shots. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, basically. And our Horis have like 60% of our health left, so now they need to start getting into the game. That's why I kind of prefer Horis over Jaegers, because when the time comes to get them in the game, they can actually come into the game. And yeah. Probably the next state of business is trying to kill the 60p, because he's kind of out of position. We die there with 1. But yeah. And I get to kill the 60p kind of for free, because he just kind of goes and dies by himself. If he's up with the rest of the team, it becomes a lot more difficult. But yeah. Now we just kind of need to use our Hori's health to kind of peek up and secure some kills. Yeah, obviously that wasn't the best peek, but it kind of needed to be done, just so, like, they shot at this Hori, so Sav could then peek up and shoot this guy and kill him. The next state of business to kill this guy, which we do. Lovely jubbly. Now we need to kill the Hori, E3, sorry. we get quite lucky. The CS, I think, bounces the shot from a 279, so he gets like an extra 2 shots here. Mitch just suicides for no reason, because he's a stupid dog. I quote, I wanted to make it close. Or if they lose, they are bad. So, yeah. It becomes quite close, because man bounces, and then he correctly picks the Hori to kill, because the Hori has the better gun and could pen him easier, but we kill him. Obviously, if Mitch doesn't go and suicides there, we win very easily. But yeah, as you can see, this camp is fucking really hard to break. I had the perfect lineup other than one more. I had one more EBR. If I have another i7 or 60p, this game becomes probably a bit easier. As well as if we don't lose this i7 here for free, basically, as well, the game becomes a lot easier. But yeah, that's kind of like what I wanted to show. These camps are ridiculously hard. I think we fought one against Rezes, which I think will go up maybe before this video releases, where they camp with this base, and we lose to it because it is just very hard to deal with. And yeah, but yeah, that's kind of it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you're still watching, I don't know how long this video is because I haven't edited it yet, but yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.